Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sasha Farbach. President Herzog's recent tour of the Baltic states is more than just a diplomatic courtesy. It's a signal, perhaps even a stress test, for how history, politics, and shifting regional dynamics intersect today. Now, with questions swirling about collective memory, current security partnerships, and the recalibration of Israel's presence in Europe, this visit is drawing attention for all kinds of reasons. Now, to help us make sense of it all and what it means, we're joined by Maciej Kozłowski, former Polish ambassador to Israel. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning.
Good morning.
Now, Mr. Ambassador, if we look at the start of this, is this visit, it's already in Lithuania, it includes the rest of the Baltic states. Do you see this more as symbol or strategy?
Well, I don't think so. I think that it is an effort on the part of Israel to get out of the growing isolation, especially in Europe. And the Baltic states are, I would say the most pro-Israeli, apart from Czech Republic, countries of European Union. So I think that it is the strategy on part of Israel. And of course, for Baltic states, the problem of the Russian threat is so overwhelming that they are not ready to engage in any other fronts, I would say.
Mm-hmm. You're saying there also that these Baltic states are the most pro-Israeli in Europe. Is this sort of part of this larger image campaign of Israel? Are they going to be hoping for the same kind of support? I mean, we have on the one hand France very much pushing for recognizing Palestine. So the Baltic states, will that have some kind of clash on a European level at some point?
I don't think it will be a clash. I think it will be a different, I would say, accents. There is still a discussion within European Union concerning the situation in the Middle East, especially after the shocking news coming from Gaza. More and more countries want threat or threat Israel that they will recognize the Palestinian state. France did that. The other countries, Britain says that, Canada. But I think that the most important will be eventually an action, some kind of sanctions. The Netherlands already imposed sanctions on the two right-wing Israeli politicians. Maybe that will be the next development. And I think that this visit by Herzog is an attempt to the attempt not that to happen. That means that the sanctions will not be put against Israel, or that will be not all European, but only selected European countries will be sanctioning Israel.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And also tell us a little bit more about this concentration of the Baltic states. I mean, for Israel, it's, well, let's say, more or less clear they want to have more allies in all of this. But at the same time, what do the Baltic states gain out of this? What is their, let's say, takeaway from more Israel present in their countries?
Well, the Baltic states had problems with Israel because during the Second World War, there were some atrocities which happened to Jews living there, and in many cases, these atrocities were not done by Germans, but by the Baltic citizens, Lithuanians, Estonians, Latvians. Therefore, it was a very, I would say, strange relations between Israel and Baltic countries, even after they regained independence in the 90s. This relations were improving, and I think that this visit shows that this I would say, history of improvement of relations is continued.
Hmm. And can we expect anything in terms of economic or other types of partnerships in this? I mean, Israel is very much a leader in terms of cybersecurity firms and technology. Is President Herzog's visit going to show us a bit more in this? Will there be more investment in any kind of way from Israel in these regions?
Well, I wouldn't go so far, but now both countries, Israel is very much concentrated on what's going on in the Middle East, and the Baltic states are concentrated on their eastern border and the threat from the east. So I don't think it's a time for the project with some long perspective. I think it is as I said at the beginning, an attempt on the Israeli side to sort of show that not whole Europe is united against Israel concerning the situation in Gaza.
Mm-hmm. And as we know, obviously, the Baltic states close to Russia, they have their own security, let's say, objectives, and very much are against Russia. Having the presence of President Herzog in those countries, is this, let's say, a subtle message to Moscow? How will Russia interpret the president's visit in these countries?
I hope that Russia will interpret it as a withdrawal of Israel from this, I would say, hedge position which it has taken at the beginning of the attack of Russia against Ukraine. You remember one of the first chief of governments visiting Moscow was then Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. Then Israel was very reluctant in supporting Ukraine. It refused to send arms to Ukraine, and it still maintained good relations with Russia. I think now, when the position of Trump is changing towards Russia, I think that Israel is sort of going along.
Mm-hmm. And tell me, please, Mr. Kozłowski, about the public perception. I mean, of course, President Herzog is being received by the other presidents of the estates, but what is the public view of this visit here?
Here in Poland, well, it's not, frankly speaking, it was not much discussed in Poland. Poland is also very much concentrated on its internal situation and the situation in Ukraine. Poland is in this, among the European Union countries, is kind of in the middle of the road. It is not condemning Israel as some other countries, but on the other hand, of course, stresses the need to find a solution, a peaceful solution for Gaza. So I think that Poland will be also, in a way, supporting this move by Baltic states to get closer relations with Israel, because Poland also has a long history of special relations with Israel, which were now much weakened, but I hope that sooner or later they will come back to the situation where these two countries have a very special relations, taking into consideration that the roots of Israel are connected with Poland.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking, right, and we're talking about roots here. So let's also talk about the future at the same time. With this visit concluding soon, what do you think will be the lasting outcome of it? Will there be some kind of declaration? Will this be largely forgotten? Like, what's coming next after this visit is finished by President Herzog in the region?
I don't think there will be. We have to remember that in Israeli political system, president has no power. It's a very weak political position. The one who really rules Israel is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The president has mostly decorative functions, and therefore there will be no declaration because president is not in power to sign a declaration in the name of the Israeli government. It's more, I would say, PR event than the political event.
Mm-hmm. So could this potentially, in your mind, pave the way for, as you said, a more powerful Israeli politician to come to the Baltic region?
I beg your pardon?
Well, could the president of Israel's visit, is that maybe a signal that Netanyahu, the prime minister, might actually also visit the region? Or is that too much of a stretch?
Well, hard to say. Now Netanyahu, so many others, I would say, worries. I don't think he's planning some international visits, maybe only to United States. He'll go to United States, obviously, for the UN session, which won't be easy for him. So I don't think he's planning. I think that he is concentrated on maintaining as good relations with United States as possible because he understands that only United States is in power to sort of shield Israel from international isolation, which Israel is now witnessing. And the visit by the Speaker of House of Representatives, Mike Johnson, in West Bank, one of the signs that...
And with that, I know that there are more things we need to discuss on that, but we'll leave the U.S.-Israeli relationship for another time. Look, really appreciate your time. Maciej Kozłowski there, former Polish ambassador to Israel. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching World Talks, but stay tuned, much more coming up right here on TVP World. Goodbye.